Hey everybody, Mike Chipperini at Chipper's Island Adventures, and today I'm going to go over some of the mods and little stuff that I've added to my Winnebago Travato 59K. So hey everybody, I'm here on a beautiful fall day here in Gloucester, Mass. And I just figured I'd go over some of the mods I've done and things I've added to my Travato 59K. Some of these are relatively simple. Your rig may or may not need them, or you may not like them, but these are just things that I've done. So what I'm going to do is start from the cab and work my way back. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my steering wheel. What I did is I went ahead and added a steering wheel cover. And as you can see, it's right here. And I really like having these because it gives me a little bit better grip. I like the look of it. I like the feel of it. So obviously that's not a true mod, but I'm not only going over some of the mods I did, but also stuff like this that is kind of, we'll call it stuff or an add-on. So that's the first thing. And this is a 15.5-inch steering wheel, and I got this off Amazon. I just went out, looked at the best color that I felt would match the whole front cab area, and I think it ties in pretty well. Another thing I do with the front cab is I always carry a squeegee. So what I do is I fill it with windshield wiper fluid, and it's always in my door. So when I pull into a gas station and I'm filling up my fuel, sometimes they don't have really good squeegees. And this here squeegee is very simple to use. You spray it on the windshield, as you can see, sprays right on. So what I'll do is I'll use this when I pull into a gas station where they don't have adequate squeegees, or whenever I pull into a campsite and my windshield is a mess, I'll go ahead and use this, or any other time I might need it. But that's primarily when I do use it. And it's been great. The fluid I use is the stuff that's good for bugs, and this has been fabulous. And I leave it right here in my front door. It's a great space for it. There isn't a whole lot else that can go in there. So now in my passenger side door, what I keep there is I keep my foldable broom. Now this broom telescopes and folds, and it's a nice spot for it here in the door. It fits perfectly, and I leave that there because it doesn't use up any space and it's easy to get to when I need it. So this is my folding broom, telescoping broom that I got from Camping World, and I believe it's a Camco, and these are a nice little broom to use on a Class B setup. Also, I keep an umbrella in my front area just in case you're curious. So that goes in here. This is just a water bottle that I use for hiking. But this here fits perfectly in the front door. So the next thing I'm going to show you is for my slider door. And that's this little thing right here. That is a door stop. Now that door stop, as you can see, it's from Open Glass Van Mods, and I'm going to put links to all the purchases I've made the best I can at the end of this video. I'll have them in the notes. And that, I like it because I don't like opening the van all the way. So when I open up the door, it goes halfway. Now my one criticism of that is the adhesive, which is 3M tape. In the heat it can loosen up a little bit, but right now it's fine. I noticed it slid a little bit this summer, but right now it's fine. The weather's cooler, and maybe next year if it slides too much, I'll go ahead, take it off, clean it up, and replace it. But I do like the fact that I can just open up the door halfway and I don't have to worry about it sliding back. So my next mod is going over my little hooks. So here you can see these little hooks I put in, and those are command strip hooks, and I use that for my keys. Like these are my e-bike keys, or my bike lock keys, things of that nature. And that way they're all right here. I also have an additional key for my rig, but these really come in handy. They're in a good spot. Whenever I need them, I can just grab them right there. As far as stuff, I got this nice little trash can, and I'll tell you, it fits perfectly right there. The nice thing is it doesn't rattle or anything going down the road. I've never had it tip over. I've never had it move. It stays right in place. And I do not have any adhesive on the back. Now I can put a little bit of Velcro strip back here just to hold it in place, but I really haven't had a need to do that yet. So that works out pretty good. Another thing that I have here is this nice little light that I put here, and I'll show you a picture of that, how it looks at night. And I have this night light, and sometimes I'll put another one on the counter up here in the tower of power, and these illuminate blue at night. So I'll show you those lights, and I love those because I like having blue lighting. I like having a little night light when I enter the rig, and I never have to move it. If I'm plugged in at a campground, that little bit of blue light does not bother sleeping. It doesn't interfere with my sleep at any rate. Coming inside the rig, here's another mod I did, and this is the ratcheting paper towel holder, and this thing works great. I decided to mount it here under the cabinet. Now, as you can see, it's a little close to the stove, but you know what? When you get all said and done, it's really not in the way at all. The stove top is here, and I don't find it to be a real bother, you know, to the point I'm not worried about it. Now, if the paper towel were hanging down, yes, that could be a concern. But I felt right here where it is a good location. The other location I was thinking about was over here in back of the faucet, but I didn't want to go that route. So I went over here, and I find it's fine. It's out of the way, and it barely squeezes in. As you can see, I didn't have much more space to move over, so that's worked out pretty well. So the next mod, now this was a big mod, is my lights underneath the cabinets. And I did a whole video on these. These lights come on white. You can dim them down by holding the button. As you can see, it dimmed down. Or if you press it again, they turn blue. And I replaced this lamp and this other one, and they're both the same, and I love them. And I'm actually considering putting those in with these lights as well. Those have been a great little item. I really love having the blue lights at night. These lights that are in the rig are very good, and they're bright. You know, for if you need to see something, you throw a couple on, boy, they're excellent. So having these lights over here has been really super. And like I said, I'm really considering changing out the other ceiling lights to those same lights. I've seen other people that have done that, and I think it's a good idea. Okay, my next little mod, once again, it's not really a mod like the lights. That's a pretty good mod. Is just another additional piece. And what I did is in the sink, I put this little sponge holder, and it holds on with suction, and it's been great. I've seen some people put a little thing on here, but that's been great. So little sponge holder, nothing big. I think I got that at a place like Marshall's or something like that, or maybe Home Depot. The next thing is this great item that I really love. It's from Van Made Gear, and it's the vent cover. As you can see, I've got it closed right now, but it works by magnets, just like so. Isn't that great? And it's a little bit insulated. It does a great job of blocking out the light, and I really like it. So that's a pretty easy install. What you have to do is you have to remove this housing around the vent and put magnets situated that line up with the magnets inside of this. That's how it goes. It's a pretty easy install. Probably take you about a half hour, 40 minutes to do. So that's been a great purchase, and that is from Van Made Gear. Now the next thing is, once again, isn't really a mod, it's just something I keep in my rig, and that is this Apple TV. Apple TV is absolutely super. Some people may use Roku, some people may use Fire Stick. I use Apple TV in my house. I have movies downloaded on it. I have things set up my way. So when I log into my Apple TV in the RV, I get the same screen I do in the house. If I start watching a movie in my house and maybe finish it up at a campsite or something, it picks up where I left off. I love having Apple TV in my rig. If you're wondering if I have Wi-Fi in here, I do not yet. I think all of us are always looking for that perfect Wi-Fi for an RV. If you have a recommendation for a Wi-Fi setup, please feel free to send me a message or leave a message on my YouTube channel. You know, I love Starlink, but that's a little bit overkill for what I do. So I'm not interested in getting Starlink at this time. I am looking for something that'll either pick up Wi-Fi and deliver it into the rig, or will use the same Wi-Fi as my phone, because a lot of times what I use is a hotspot off my phone, and that all depends on the signal you're receiving at any given place at any given time. So if you have any recommendations for a good Wi-Fi setup, please let me know. I'd be happy to hear it. Okay, so moving on, what we're going to do is going to go into the back of the rig and check out what I did back there. So I'm one of those guys that I really like being organized. So on the back of my rig, and I did a video about the install on this, I went ahead and put in all this L-track, and it's been great. Right now, this is my power cord. I'm using it right now, and I'll tell you, it keeps everything very organized. Now, one of the things I want to point out that I did, this system comes with these rings, but what I did is I cut the rings out, and then I put S-hooks in, and I turned one part of the S-hook 90 degrees, so that way it's just hooks on like so. Otherwise, I would have a carabiner connecting the thing, and it would be down here somewhere. This way here, it just tightens it up, and I did it to all of these, as you can see. And this has been a great mod. I'll tell you, it's the best. Keeps everything nice and neat. It really works well in the 59K or the twin bed setup. Another thing I did, this is a nice little add-on. I put a toilet brush right here, and that toilet brush, it holds on with suction cups to the wall. It's great. So if my toilet's a little messy or needs a cleaning, I have it right there. Everything's self-contained, and that's been really super. My next mod is on the shower head. I didn't like the previous shut-off on the shower head, so I ordered my own off Amazon. And as you can see, it just moves left and right. Instead of having a push button shut off, this one moves left and right. And I like this a lot better. Let's face it, when you're taking a shower in the RV, you're trying to use as little water as you can. And this mixing valve, once you get it set, I'd rather go ahead and shut it off with a ball valve or something like this than shut it off here and then find the proper mix again. So this has been really great. Again, I ordered it off Amazon. I'll put the link in the comments below. The other mod I did is I went ahead and labeled all my lights. So here you can see, I have the rear lamp. I went ahead down here, I labeled the pump. I labeled the Greg Schultz dump light. So that works great. And I'll show you my other labels here. I kept it very simple. Ceiling lights, rear and front. Then over here, I got the outside light, the front lights inside the cab. And I also labeled the running board light. And I'll tell you, that makes it a lot easier to hit that switch instead of this, because from above, when you're standing up, they both look alike. So I got that down as well. By the way, here's the light that I was talking about. This particular blue light is a Vanlife, and they are dimming lights. As you can see, that light looks pretty good right there. So I think that's about it here. Other than stuff I've added in like tools or whatnot, which I'm not going to go over at this point, I think I pretty much covered everything. Like I said, not a lot of crazy mods. The lights in the back wall were probably the biggest ones, and I have mentioned them in other videos, but I just wanted to put all my different mods in the same video. So if you like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel. All the best to all, and happy RV.